Wisdom is knowing what to do. Virtue is doing it. David Starr Jordan. This quote encapsulates the essence of wise daily reflections, a practice that ancient philosophy has long encouraged. Imagine a world where every decision you make is guided by millennia of accumulated wisdom from various philosophies. A world where the answers to life's deepest dilemmas are within your mind's reach. Welcome to a journey through time and thought, where we'll explore 13 ancient philosophies that not only shape the course of history, but have the power to transform your life today through personal growth. Have you ever wondered how thinkers from millennia ago managed to create ideas so powerful that they still resonate in our times? Or how these ancient schools of thought continue to influence the way we live, love, and seek meaning? In the next 38 minutes, we'll dive deep into human thought, unraveling the secrets that philosophers and sages discovered about the nature of reality, the pursuit of happiness, and the purpose of existence. This exploration isn't just about philosophy. It's about understanding the roots of social psychology and how it shapes our interactions and perceptions. Brace yourself for a voyage that will traverse continents and epochs, from the ancient civilizations of Greece and China to the modern thinkers of Europe and America. We'll explore concepts ranging from the pursuit of virtue to understanding the universe, from the art of living in the present moment to the quest for spiritual liberation. These philosophies offer profound insights into personal growth and the human condition. But before we dive into this philosophical odyssey, let me ask you a question. Have you ever paused to consider how a single idea can completely change your life perspective? Throughout this video, you'll discover how each of these 15 philosophies has the potential to do just that. And who knows, by the end of this journey, you might find that spark of wisdom that will illuminate your path from here on out, leading to transformative personal growth. Let's begin our exploration with existentialism, a philosophy that emerged in 19th century Europe and places you, the individual, at the center stage of life. Imagine yourself in a play where you're not just the lead actor, but also the writer, director, and even the set designer. This is the essence of existentialism, a philosophy that resonates with many aspects of social psychology. Jean-Paul Sartre, one of the leading existentialist thinkers, declared that man is condemned to be free. But what does this really mean? Imagine waking up one day and realizing that every choice you make, from the most trivial to the most significant, is shaping not just your destiny, but your very essence as a human being. It's a frightening responsibility, isn't it? This realization is at the core of many wise daily reflections practiced by those seeking personal growth. Existentialism teaches us that there's no predetermined plan for our lives, no divine script to follow. Instead, we're thrown into a world without inherent meaning, and it's up to us to create meaning through our actions and choices. It's as if life were a blank canvas, and each of us held the brush in our hand. This perspective challenges us to engage in deep philosophical thinking about our place in the world. But with this freedom comes a profound responsibility. We can't blame fate, society, or God for our circumstances. We are the sole authors of our lives. How would you handle this level of responsibility? How would your daily choices change if you truly embrace this idea? These are the types of questions that fuel wise daily reflections and drive personal growth. Existentialism invites us to live authentically, to make conscious choices, and to accept the consequences of those choices. It's a philosophy that can be both liberating and terrifying. It challenges us to face the uncertainty and anxiety that come with total freedom, but also offers us the opportunity to create a truly meaningful life. In many ways, it shares common ground with Stoicism, another ancient philosophy we'll explore later. Now you might be wondering, if there's no predetermined plan, how can we be sure we're making the right choices? This is where our next philosophy comes in, Phenomenology, which offers a unique perspective on how we perceive and interact with the world around us. Born in Germany in the early 20th century, Phenomenology invites us to dive deep into our subjective experiences. Edmund Husserl, the father of this school of thought, proposed that we should go back to the things themselves, that is, examine how things appear directly to our consciousness, free from assumptions or preconceived theories. This approach has significant implications for both philosophy and social psychology. Imagine you're looking at an apple. Phenomenology would ask you to set aside everything you know about apples, their chemical composition, their nutritional value, even their name, and simply experience the appleness of the apple. How does it appear to you? What sensations does it evoke? How does your perception of the apple shape your experience of it? These questions form the basis of wise daily reflections that can lead to profound personal growth. This focus on lived experience has profound implications. It teaches us to be present in the moment, to value our unique perceptions, and to recognize how our consciousness shapes our reality. It's an approach that can help us see the world with new eyes, appreciate the richness of each moment, and better understand our own minds. In doing so, it bridges the gap between philosophy and practical personal growth. But phenomenology goes beyond mere observation. It invites us to question how we know what we know. How can we be sure that our perception of the world is accurate? What if our consciousness is shaping reality in ways we don't even realize? These questions lead us into fascinating philosophical territory, where the line between the observer and the observed becomes blurred. These phenomenological insights remind us that our experience of the world is deeply personal and unique. How would this change your way of interacting with others, knowing that each person is living in a slightly different perceptual world? This understanding has significant implications for social psychology and how we navigate our relationships and social interactions. Now, as we reflect on the nature of perception and experience, you might be wondering, is there a way to achieve more objective, more concrete knowledge? This is where our next philosophy comes in, rationalism, which has played a crucial role in shaping modern philosophical thought. Rationalism, exemplified by the French philosopher René Descartes, argues that reason is the supreme source of knowledge. Remember Descartes' famous phrase, "I think, therefore I am." This simple statement encapsulates the belief that we can arrive at fundamental truth through pure logical thinking. It's a cornerstone of Western philosophy and has influenced countless wise daily reflections throughout history. Imagine yourself in a dark room, stripped of all your previous beliefs and knowledge. What could you know with absolute certainty? Descartes argued that even if all your senses were deceiving you, even if all your experience was an illusion, you still couldn't doubt the existence of your own thoughts. This is the starting point of rationalism, the search for clear and distinct truths that can serve as the foundation for all knowledge. Rationalism offers us a sense of security in an often chaotic and unpredictable world. It suggests that, through careful reasoning, we can discover universal truths that transcend individual experience. It's an approach that has driven great advances in mathematics, logic, and theoretical sciences. In many ways, it complements the practical wisdom of Stoicism, offering a logical framework for navigating life's challenges. But does all knowledge really come from pure reason? What about the things we learn through experience? These questions lead us to a philosophical debate that has lasted for centuries and remains relevant today. How do you balance logical reasoning with practical experience in your own life? This balance is crucial for personal growth and forms the basis of many wise daily reflections. As we ponder the nature of reason and knowledge, we can't help but notice how these abstract ideas shape our understanding of the concrete world around us. And speaking of the concrete world, how about we take a leap into a philosophy that attempts to explain the very nature of reality? Welcome to Platonism, one of the most influential schools of thought in ancient philosophy. Plato, the famous Greek philosopher, proposed a view of the universe that is both fascinating and challenging. Imagine that everything you see, touch, and experience in the physical world is just a shadow, a pale imitation of a more perfect and eternal reality. This concept has profound implications for how we understand our existence and pursue personal growth. Think of Plato's famous allegory of the cave. In it, prisoners are chained in a dark cave, seeing only the shadows projected on the wall in front of them. For them, these shadows are reality. But what if someone escaped and saw the outside world, bathed in sunlight? That person would understand that what they thought was real was just a shadow of true reality. This allegory has been a source of wise daily reflections for philosophers and seekers of wisdom for millennia. Platonism invites us to look beyond appearances, to seek the perfect and eternal forms that exist beyond the physical world. Concepts like justice, beauty, and goodness are not mere ideas in our minds, Plato argues, but transcendent realities that exist independently of us. This perspective challenges us to think deeply about the nature of reality and our place in it, fostering both philosophical inquiry and personal growth. This view has profound implications for both philosophy and social psychology. If the physical world is just a shadow, how can we achieve true knowledge? And if there are perfect forms of virtues like justice, how can we aspire to them in our imperfect lives? These questions have inspired countless wise daily reflections throughout history. Platonism challenges us to elevate our thoughts, to seek a deeper understanding of reality. It suggests that there's more to the universe than what our eyes can see or our hands can touch. How would this idea change your perception of the world around you? How would it affect your aspirations and your values? These are the types of questions that drive personal growth and philosophical inquiry. Now, as we contemplate these lofty ideas about the nature of reality, it can be easy to get lost in abstractions, but what if there was a philosophy that brought us back down to earth, that reconnected us with the natural world around us? This is where Native American philosophy comes in, offering a unique perspective that complements and challenges Western philosophical traditions. Rooted in the traditions of the indigenous peoples of the Americas, this philosophy offers a profoundly different perspective on our relationship with the world. Imagine a way of thinking that sees humanity not as separate from nature, but as an integral part of it. A way of thinking that recognizes the interconnectedness of all living things. This worldview has much to offer in terms of wise daily reflections and personal growth. In Native American philosophy, the earth is not a resource to be exploited, but a living entity to be respected and honored. Every river, every mountain, every animal has its own spirit and purpose. This worldview invites us to live in harmony with nature, to recognize our responsibility as stewards of the earth. It offers a unique perspective on environmental ethics that is increasingly relevant in our modern world. But this philosophy goes beyond mere environmental preservation. It offers a cyclical understanding of time where past, present, and future are interconnected. It emphasizes the importance of community, the wisdom of elders, and the oral transmission of knowledge. These concepts have profound implications for social psychology and how we understand our place in the world. What would it be like to live with this deep awareness of our connection to nature? How would it change our daily decisions, our relationship with consumption, our understanding of progress? These questions form the basis of wise daily reflections that can lead to significant personal growth and a re-evaluation of our place in the world. Native American philosophy challenges us to rethink our relationship with the natural world and with each other. It reminds us that we are part of something greater than ourselves and that our actions have consequences that extend far beyond our individual lives. This perspective offers a powerful counterpoint to some of the more individualistic tendencies in Western philosophy. Speaking of harmony and balance, our next stop on the philosophical journey takes us to the other side of the world, to ancient China, where we encounter Taoism. This ancient philosophy offers unique insights into personal growth and wise daily reflections that complement and challenge Western philosophical traditions. Imagine a river flowing smoothly around the rocks in its path. It doesn't struggle against obstacles, but gracefully flows around them, following the path of least resistance. This is the essence of Taoism, a philosophy that teaches us to live in harmony with the natural flow of the universe. It offers a perspective on life that has much in common with Stoicism, emphasizing acceptance and alignment with nature. The central concept of Taoism is the Tao, often translated as the way. But the Tao is not a path we can see or touch. As the Tao Te Ching, the fundamental text of Taoism, says, "The Tao that can be named is not the eternal Tao." This concept invites us to engage in deep philosophical reflection about the nature of reality and our place in it. Taoism invites us to abandon our need for control and embrace the natural flow of things. It teaches us the principle of Wu Wei, often translated as non-action or effortless action. But don't be mistaken, this is not a call to passivity. Instead, it's an invitation to act in harmony with the nature of things. This principle offers a unique approach to personal growth and wise daily reflections. Think of a surfer riding a wave. They don't try to control the ocean, but work with it, responding to its movements with grace and fluidity. This is the essence of Wu Wei. It's a principle that can be applied to many aspects of life, from work to relationships to personal development. Taoism also teaches us about balance through the concept of yin and yang. Everything in the universe, Taoism argues, is composed of opposing but complementary forces. Light and darkness, masculine and feminine, action and rest, all are necessary aspects of a balanced whole. This concept offers profound insights for social psychology and our understanding of human nature. How would this worldview change your approach to life's challenges? How could you apply the principle of Wu Wei in your work, your relationships, your pursuit of personal fulfillment? These questions form the basis of wise daily reflections that can lead to significant personal growth. Taoism offers us a radical alternative to the mentality of struggle and conquest that often dominates Western thought. It invites us to find strength in flexibility, wisdom in simplicity, and harmony in balance. In many ways, it complements the teachings of Stoicism, offering a different path to inner peace and resilience. Now, as we reflect on these ancient wisdoms of the East, you might be wondering, how can we reconcile these ideas with the modern world, with its scientific and technological advancements? This is where our next philosophy comes in, positivism, which has played a crucial role in shaping modern philosophical thought and scientific inquiry. Born in the 19th century, positivism represents a radical shift in how we approach knowledge. Founded by Auguste Comte, positivism argues that the only authentic knowledge is that which can be verified through scientific observation and experimentation. This approach has had a profound impact on both philosophy and social psychology. Imagine a world where all beliefs, all theories, all ideas must pass the test of empirical evidence. This is the world of positivism. It rejects metaphysics, theology, and other forms of knowledge that cannot be scientifically tested. This rigorous approach to knowledge has been a driving force behind many scientific advancements. Positivism invites us to adopt a skeptical attitude towards claims that cannot be proven. It argues that human progress comes through the advancement of scientific knowledge, not through philosophical speculation or religious revelation. This perspective has significantly influenced how we think about knowledge and truth in the modern world. This approach has had a profound impact on the development of modern science and continues to influence how we think about knowledge and truth today. But it also raises important questions. How do we deal with questions of ethics, aesthetics, or personal meaning in a purely scientific paradigm? Is there room for intuition, emotion, or subjective experience in the world of positivism? These questions form the basis of many wise daily reflections in our scientifically oriented world. Positivism challenges us to be rigorous in our thinking, to seek evidence before accepting claims. But it also invites us to reflect on the limits of scientific knowledge. How do you balance the pursuit of empirical evidence with other forms of understanding in your own life? This balance is crucial for personal growth in our modern, science-driven world. As we ponder the nature of knowledge and truth, we can't help but notice how these ideas affect our daily lives, our emotions, and our pursuit of happiness. And speaking of happiness, how about we explore a philosophy that focuses precisely on that? Welcome to Stoicism, an ancient philosophy that has experienced a resurgence in popularity due to its practical wisdom and approach to personal growth. Imagine facing life's ups and downs with unshakable serenity, accepting what cannot be changed, and focusing your energy on what's under your control. This is the essence of Stoicism, a philosophy that emerged in ancient Greece and continues to inspire millions of people today. It offers practical tools for navigating life's challenges and achieving personal growth. The Stoics, like Seneca and Marcus Aurelius, argued that true happiness doesn't come from seeking pleasure or avoiding pain, but from cultivating virtue and wisdom. They teach us that it's not external events that disturb us, but our interpretations of those events. This perspective has profound implications for both philosophy and social psychology. Think of the famous quote by Epictetus, "It's not things themselves that disturb us, but the opinions we have about these things." How could this shift in perspective transform your reaction to life's challenges? This idea forms the basis of many wise daily reflections practiced by modern Stoics. Stoicism invites us to accept what we cannot change, to have the courage to change what we can, and to develop the wisdom to distinguish between the two. It teaches us to find inner peace regardless of external circumstances. These principles offer powerful tools for personal growth and resilience in the face of adversity. But don't mistake Stoicism for passivity or resignation. On the contrary, it encourages us to act with purpose and integrity, to do what's right, not what's easy. How would you apply these principles in your daily life? How would they change your approach to stress, failure, success? These questions are at the heart of Stoic practice and wise daily reflections. Stoicism offers practical tools for navigating life's storms with grace and dignity. It reminds us that while we can't control everything that happens to us, we can always control our response. This philosophy provides a framework for personal growth that has stood the test of time. Now, as we reflect on the pursuit of inner serenity, we can't help but consider how our actions affect the world around us. This is where our next philosophy comes in: utilitarianism, which offers a unique perspective on ethics and decision-making. Developed in England in the late 18th century, utilitarianism proposes a pragmatic approach to ethics. Its fundamental principle is simple yet profound. The most ethical action is the one that produces the greatest good for the greatest number of people. This principle has had a significant impact on both philosophy and social psychology. Imagine having to make a difficult decision. How would you weigh the pros and cons? Utilitarianism offers us a tool. Calculate the pleasure and pain, the happiness and suffering that your action would cause, and choose the path that maximizes overall well-being. This approach provides a framework for ethical decision-making that can be applied in many areas of life. This approach has far-reaching implications. It invites us to think beyond our own needs and desires, to consider the impact of our actions on a larger scale. How would this change your daily decisions? How would it affect your career choices, your consumer decisions, your involvement with the community? These questions form the basis of wise daily reflections that can lead to significant personal growth and social awareness. Utilitarianism also raises challenging questions. How do we measure happiness or suffering? Does the end always justify the means? And what about individual rights in the face of the greater good? These ethical dilemmas have been the subject of much philosophical debate and continue to be relevant in our modern world. Philosophers like Jeremy Bentham and John Stuart Mill argued that utilitarianism provides a rational basis for ethics and public policy. But critics point out that it can lead to counterintuitive or even dangerous conclusions if applied without nuance. This tension between individual and collective well-being is a key issue in social psychology. Regardless of its limitations, utilitarianism challenges us to think critically about our moral choices and to consider the long-term consequences of our actions. How would you balance the pursuit of individual happiness with responsibility for collective well-being? This balance is crucial for personal growth and ethical living in our interconnected world. Now, as we ponder the nature of ethics and well-being, it might be tempting to rely solely on our reasoning to find answers. But what if there was another equally valid source of knowledge? This is where our next philosophy comes in: empiricism, which has played a crucial role in shaping modern scientific thought. Imagine a world where seeing is believing is not just a saying, but a fundamental philosophical principle. This is the world of empiricism, a school of thought that argues that all knowledge comes from sensory experience. This approach has had a profound impact on both philosophy and scientific inquiry. Developed by philosophers like John Locke and David Hume, empiricism challenges the notion that we're born with innate ideas or that we can achieve knowledge through pure reasoning. Instead, it argues that our mind begins as a tabula rasa, a blank slate that is filled through our experiences in the world. This perspective has significant implications for how we understand learning and personal growth. Think about how you learned that fire is hot. It wasn't through abstract reasoning, but probably through direct and possibly painful experience. Empiricism suggests that all our knowledge follows a similar pattern. This emphasis on direct experience aligns well with the practice of wise daily reflections, encouraging us to learn from our lived experiences. This approach had a profound impact on the development of the scientific method. It encourages us to base our beliefs on observable evidence, to test our theories through experiments, to remain skeptical of claims that can't be empirically verified. This rigorous approach to knowledge has been a driving force behind many scientific advancements and has significant implications for personal growth and our understanding of the world. But empiricism also raises intriguing questions. If all knowledge comes from experience, how do we explain abstract concepts like mathematics or logic? And what about subjective experiences that can't be easily observed or measured? These questions challenge us to think deeply about the nature of knowledge and perception, forming the basis for many philosophical debates and wise daily reflections. Empiricism invites us to value careful observation and direct experience. It reminds us to keep our minds open, to question our assumptions, and to seek evidence before drawing conclusions. How would you apply these principles in your daily life? How would they change your approach to learning new skills or understanding the world around you? These questions are at the heart of personal growth and the pursuit of knowledge. Now, as we reflect on the nature of experience and knowledge, we can't help but wonder, what is the relationship between our mind and the external world? This is where our next philosophy comes in: idealism, a school of thought that has profoundly influenced both Western and Eastern philosophy. Imagine a universe where reality as we know it is actually a construction of our minds. This is the core of idealism, a philosophical current that argues that the material world is ultimately a manifestation of the mental or spiritual world. This perspective challenges our common-sense understanding of reality and invites us to engage in deep philosophical reflection. The German philosopher Immanuel Kant, a central figure in the development of idealism, proposed that our perception of the world is shaped by innate categories in our minds. In other words, we don't see the world as it is, but as our mind organizes and interprets it. This idea has significant implications for both philosophy and social psychology, influencing how we understand perception and cognition. Think about how you perceive a color, say red. Idealism suggests that redness is not an inherent property of the object you're looking at, but an experience created by your mind in response to certain stimuli. This perspective invites us to question our most basic assumptions about the nature of reality and perception. This view has profound implications. If our mind actively shapes our experience of reality, what is the role of our consciousness in creating the world we perceive? And if different minds perceive the world in fundamentally different ways, how can we arrive at a shared understanding of reality? These questions form the basis of many wise daily reflections and philosophical inquiries. Idealism invites us to question our most basic assumptions about the nature of reality. It suggests that the mental world, our ideas, thoughts, and perceptions, is more fundamental than the material world. This perspective can be both liberating and challenging, offering new ways to approach personal growth and self-understanding. But this view also raises challenging questions. If the world is a mental construction, how do we explain the apparent consistency and predictability of the physical universe? And if our mind shapes our reality, what is the limit of our power to transform the world through thought? These questions have been the subject of much philosophical debate and continue to inspire wise daily reflections. Idealism offers us a unique perspective on the relationship between mind and matter, between the observer and the observed. How would this view change your understanding of yourself and the world around you? How would it affect your approach to problem solving or pursuing personal growth? These questions invite us to explore the depths of our consciousness and its relationship to the world we experience. Now, as we contemplate these profound questions about the nature of reality and mind, it can be easy to get lost in philosophical abstractions. But what if there was a philosophy that brought us back to the here and now, that taught us to find peace and wisdom amidst the complexities of everyday life? This is where our next philosophy comes in: Buddhism, an ancient tradition that offers profound insights into the nature of mind and reality. Imagine an approach to life that sees suffering not as a problem to be avoided at all costs, but as a starting point for liberation and enlightenment. This is the core of Buddhism, a philosophy and spiritual practice that originated in India over 2,500 years ago. Buddhism offers a unique perspective on personal growth and the nature of consciousness that has much to contribute to both philosophy and social psychology. Buddhism is based on the Four Noble Truths taught by Siddhartha Gautama, the historical Buddha. These truths state that suffering is an inevitable part of life, that suffering arises from desire and attachment, that it's possible to end suffering, and that there's a path to achieve this end. This framework provides a basis for understanding the human condition and offers practical tools for personal growth. Think about how you react when things don't go as planned. Buddhism suggests that our suffering doesn't come from the events themselves, but from our resistance to them, from our desire for things to be different than they are. This perspective aligns well with Stoicism and offers a powerful approach to dealing with life's challenges. Buddhist practice invites us to cultivate mindfulness, to observe our thoughts and emotions without judgment, to develop compassion for all beings. It teaches us that true happiness doesn't come from the accumulation of possessions or experiences, but from the liberation from our attachments and illusions. These practices form the basis of many wise daily reflections and offer powerful tools for personal growth. But Buddhism isn't just a philosophy of resignation. On the contrary, it encourages us to act with wisdom and compassion in the world, to work to alleviate the suffering of all beings. How would you apply these principles in your daily life? How would they change your approach to dealing with stress, conflict, or the pursuit of fulfillment? These questions invite us to explore the practical applications of Buddhist philosophy in our everyday lives. Buddhism offers us a unique perspective on the nature of mind and reality. It suggests that, through practice and insight, we can transcend our limiting conditioning and experience profound freedom and peace. This approach to personal growth and self-understanding has much to offer to both philosophy and social psychology. Now, as we reflect on these ancient Eastern wisdoms, you might be wondering, how can we apply these insights in the practical and often chaotic world we live in? This is where our next philosophy comes in, Pragmatism, a school of thought that emphasizes the practical consequences of ideas and actions. Imagine an approach to knowledge and truth that isn't so much concerned with abstract theories, but with what actually works in practice. This is the core of pragmatism, a school of thought that emerged in the United States in the late 19th century. Pragmatism offers a unique perspective on knowledge and truth that has significant implications for both philosophy and personal growth. Pragmatist philosophers like William James and John Dewey argued that the truth of an idea should be judged by its practical consequences. In other words, if an idea leads to useful and beneficial results, we can consider it true in a pragmatic sense. This approach challenges traditional notions of truth and invites us to consider the real-world impact of our beliefs and actions. Think about how you approach a problem in your life. Pragmatism suggests that instead of getting stuck in endless theoretical debates, we should focus on solutions that produce tangible and positive results. This practical approach to problem-solving can be a powerful tool for personal growth and effective action in the world. This approach has had a profound impact on fields such as education, politics, and science. It encourages us to be flexible in our thinking, to be open to new ideas and methods, to value experience and experimentation. These principles align well with the practice of wise daily reflections, encouraging us to learn from our experiences and adapt our approaches based on what works. But pragmatism also raises important questions. If we judge ideas solely by their practical consequences, do we risk ignoring important truths that may not have immediate utility? And how do we decide what counts as a useful or beneficial outcome? These questions challenge us to think critically about our values and goals, forming the basis for many philosophical debates. Pragmatism invites us to be active problem solvers, to seek knowledge not just for its own sake, but as a tool to improve our lives and our world. How would you apply this mindset in your daily life? How would it change your approach to learning, decision-making, or civic engagement? These questions invite us to explore the practical applications of philosophy in our everyday lives. And so we come to the end of our journey through these 15 ancient philosophies. Each of them offers us a unique window into understanding ourselves, the world around us, and our place in it. From existentialism, which challenges us to create meaning in a seemingly meaningless universe, to Buddhism, which invites us to find peace amidst life's inevitable sufferings, each philosophy offers us valuable tools for navigating the complexities of life. But remember, true wisdom isn't just in knowing these ideas, but in applying them in our lives. As philosopher Will Durant said, "We are what we repeatedly do." Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. This sentiment aligns perfectly with the practice of wise daily reflections and the pursuit of personal growth. So, what habits will you cultivate from today? What ideas will guide your actions? How will you use this ancient wisdom to transform your life and the world around you? These questions are at the heart of philosophy and personal growth, inviting us to engage deeply with the wisdom of the ages. The philosophical journey doesn't end here. In fact, it's just beginning. Each day offers new opportunities to question, to learn, to grow. Keep your mind open, your heart compassionate, and your will strong. Remember, as Socrates said, the unexamined life is not worth living. This call to self-reflection and critical thinking is as relevant today as it was in ancient Athens. Now it's your turn. Which philosophy resonated most deeply with you? What ideas will you take with you? How will you apply this wisdom in your daily life? These questions invite you to engage actively with these philosophical ideas, to make them a part of your own journey of personal growth and self-discovery. Don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments below. Your unique perspective might be exactly what someone else needs to hear. The exchange of ideas is a crucial part of philosophical inquiry and social psychology, helping us to broaden our understanding and challenge our assumptions. And if you found this exploration of ancient philosophy valuable, please give it a like, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel for more content that explores the depths of human thought and the heights of human potential. By engaging with these ideas and sharing them with others, you're participating in a centuries-old tradition of philosophical discourse and contributing to our collective understanding. Until next time, where we'll continue our journey through the vast universe of ideas. Remember, the wisdom of the ages is at your fingertips. Use it well, integrate it into your wise daily reflections, and let it guide your path of personal growth and self-discovery. The philosophical journey is a lifelong one, full of wonder, challenge, and profound insights. Embrace it and let it transform your life.